Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Today I'll be talking about 3 things that have to do with photography that I'm sick of hearing. These are 3 things that people who either don't know photography or know photography very little like to say about photography, and every time someone says one of these 3 things, I just like a part of me dies inside. Well, not really, but you know what I mean. It's a little bit irritating, and I figured that if any of you are lovers of photography like I am, or if you're just simply watching YouTube videos for the heck of it, you might want to know about these things, and I hope that this will be an entertaining video for you to watch because we can all just sit back, relax, and just discuss the ways of the world. Okay, so anyway, let's just get into it. Number 1. Why do you edit your photos? You're making them look fake. It's not necessary. It's a waste of time. Someone actually told that to me. And yeah, I understand your thought process if you're thinking like this, but let me just tell you that I think of photography as an art form, and I consider it a very important art form in my life. So would you tell someone who's into pottery to basically make you a bowl and not glaze it? You know, would you tell them that? No, you wouldn't. Would you tell an artist to make a sketch or do a painting and then just leave half of it unfinished? No, you would never tell them to give that painting to you. So it's the same thing with photography, essentially. If I have someone that I'm taking photos for, if I have a client, I'm never going to give them unfinished work. I'm never going to give them anything that doesn't show my capabilities as both a photographer and a photography editor. I'm not going to give them an unfinished product because it puts me in a bad light and it makes me look less than I think I am, if that makes any sense, because I know that I can create good images. But if I'm giving you a raw image, then I'm giving you an unfinished piece of my work. And also, I would pretty much guarantee you that most people that say they would like an unedited image really won't like that unedited image as much as they would like an edited version of that work. I mean, no matter what they say, in their heart of hearts, even if they don't know themselves, they will prefer the edited image. So I would say that if someone is pressuring you to give them an unfinished version of your work, please don't cave into the pressure. You're the photographer, so you should be able to send them out. Within a week, I try to send out the images to the customer or to the friend who I'm doing the photos for, so that way they're all edited and they look good and they're a good representation of my work. So if someone is trying to pressure you to give them unedited images, don't. Just be like, look, if you want unedited images, just go to a different person because I'm not going to give them to you. And you shouldn't have to be pressured by people who don't understand photography, who don't understand your art form. You shouldn't feel pressured by them to give unedited images of your work because that's just not right. Okay, moving on. This is not really one thing that I can say. It's more of a misconception, and I understand that some of you might disagree with me right off the bat, but let me explain myself, right? So a lot of people like to think that if you have a better camera, you're automatically taking better photos. And I do want to say this, not really about the camera, it's more about the photographer. Because I could give my camera, which is a higher end camera, to somebody who doesn't know photography and they would probably do a crappy photo. But I can tell you that I've taken really cheap cameras that cost several $100s. I've taken photos with those cameras and I've placed in state competitions with those photos, and I'm over people who had better cameras. Now that I have a better camera, I do like to use it, and I do recognize that I get better photos with a better camera more easily. But I do have to say that if you're a beginner with photography, don't look at the higher end cameras. Choose something that's within your budget. Choose something that you can learn from. It doesn't have to be the latest model, but just make sure that you know and learn this camera like the back of your hand. Look up how to work with camera settings. I have a video on this channel about that, and just really study your camera, experiment with it, and you will get better. And when you do get better, then you can consider investing in a higher end camera and get better images. Because if you're doing photography as a business, if you get a lot better and try and do it as a business, you're trying to be able to give the best product that you can, if that makes any sense, right? So naturally you will get a higher quality photo if you use a better camera. It's basically like telling a baker, hey, yeah, I love this cake or I love this bread. What oven were you using? Because I'm pretty sure if you use like a cheap, mediocre oven, then this bread would not be as good. It's just like saying that to a baker. You wouldn't say that to a baker. You wouldn't say that to a chef, because it's obvious that the chef has gone through this training to achieve this high level of art for themselves. So it's the same thing with a photographer. If you tell a photographer, oh, that's a nice photo, what camera are you using, and you only seem interested in the camera itself and the gear, then you're not necessarily showing that you have an interest in them as an artist, and you're kind of in a way cheapening an art form. Because I do think that, yeah, the white balance is better on certain cameras. Yeah, you do have to pay higher if you want to get a camera, and that will give you a high resolution. But at the same time, if you're a photographer and you love photography, you work your ass off trying to get a good image, and it doesn't matter what camera you have. So yeah, I do think that it doesn't really matter what kind of camera you have. If you are trying to look at photography as a business, or if you want to do photography long term and you know photography already, you know enough about it, I would suggest looking into a higher end camera anyway, because if you're doing it as a living, or you want to try and do photography as a living, then you want to be able to make and produce a product that is the best that you can possibly produce. The next thing that annoys me is when people like to say, oh yeah, photography. You do photography? That's fun. Sounds pretty easy. Okay, photography, I feel like it sounds pretty easy because anyone can really do it, but few people can do it well. You have to understand that a photographer who's trying to work professionally, and a good photographer, really works hard to make sure that their skill is always evolving, to make sure that they're always learning. And photography is not easy. Oh my god. I have literally, I've gone to downtown Dallas and I've laid down on the pavement wearing a skirt, my skirt's flying up, and I'm doing this, I'm laying on my back on the pavement to take a photo of the architecture in Dallas. And no, it's not easy lying down on the pavement, but I do it to get a better angle. Also, when you're trying to basically stay up nights editing a photo, when you're trying to stay up nights doing research, when you're trying to learn more, when you're trying to watch videos online to see how you can improve your craft, it's not easy. It's the same thing as saying that being an artist is easy, that painting is easy, because anyone can take a camera and create a photo, but few people can actually get into it and really understand the art and the love behind photography. So that is where I'm going to end this video. I hope you enjoyed this little rambly video. I felt like it would be a fun video to film for you guys who may also be interested in photography, so we could have a little bit of a chat. And also, if you're not interested in photography but you just finished watching this video, thank you so much. I do hope you enjoyed this video. I do have other photography videos, so be sure to check those down in the description box below. I have an entire playlist, and I also have a whole bunch of other videos on this channel. I have travel videos, I have vlog videos, and I have makeup videos where you can learn how to create makeup looks like this. So that is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.